Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Career Mode, episode number 16. So we've done it. We're into season number 3 now, and the transition is complete. We've gone from the original team of misfits into a group of, well, really Continental riders, but a much, much better group than what we first started out with. I mean, essentially, our team average is a full 20 points better than what we had as we started at about a 51. Now we're at about a 71 overall. I think we'll be a lot more consistent throughout the season, not just when we took all of the riders that we had and put them all into the same race. We actually now have a range of riders that have similar qualities to each other. So that's going to allow me to uncheck the auto planning assistant and actually plan things out myself. Now, to do that, I've got to break down what each of my riders are capable of. Now, we only have one pure domestique in Noah Granigan, at least in comparison to everybody else. However, that's not quite how things work, right? Noah Granigan has a 70 sprint and a 70 acceleration. His sprint is actually higher than everybody else's on the team right now. As we're going to set ourselves up for this season, I really need to start breaking this down into who are my climbers, who are my punchers, who can handle the time trial, who can sprint, who can do a classic. I'm going to do that work in ranking my players. If you've seen my previous series, you'll know how this process goes. We spent the whole last episode wrapping up last season, signing the riders and going all the way from August 1st till now January. We covered 4 months in one episode, so I'm not going to bore you with additional know-how and work, but long story short, I'm going to rank my highest mountain ratings. So Tintani, clearly our top climber. He'll be in every race that involves high climbs. You're going to see these 5 and probably Zeta in each climbing race. But of course, I've got to balance things out. There's got to be a domestique or 2 mixed in because we can't overdo it. Last season, we really overdid it. The last few months of the season, albeit most of it was all quick sims, but the fatigue within the team was horrendous because Zeta and others got up over 100 days worth of riding because I really had one reliable squad, and then I had one squad that was just filler. I now have a team that we can diversify. I don't mind having Noah Granigan, our weakest rider, out there, at least on sprints. Alan Banashek is going to kind of be our top domestique as he's a Barrador, and I really don't like the breakaway much. This group will combine a little bit better. We did get a few sprinters, just not top sprinters. So sprinting is still going to be a real struggle for us this season, but I still ultimately think that this combination, these 3 guys especially, will combine. I'll find a balance and will ultimately be more competitive than last season. I don't think we're going to win very many sprints, but the days of just squeezing into the top 10 are done. I think we'll squeeze into the top 5 this season at least. Filling out the planner effectively is probably the most important piece of this game on whether you're going to have success or not. It's also something that requires a little bit of experience and know-how, because it's not an easy thing to do properly, but it makes all the difference in your season. It first comes down to rider popularity, nationality, and an ability to complete your objectives. But then it goes deeper into depth of the race program, not getting overloaded but having enough races, spreading it out over time, and then managing rider fitness and fatigue. And then when all of that is done, then it's trying to fill out the calendar as much as you can on non-sponsor objectives, getting wins where you can with the riders that you can that are left that aren't overloaded. So, long story short, it takes a very long time to properly plan. Now, the monthly auto planning assistant, very helpful, but also very detrimental to your success long term. You can, and absolutely should if you start in a manner like I did, use it in your first season or two for all your non-sponsor objectives. Quick and easy, like the work is done. Your domestiques, you could absolutely use that planning assistant on your domestiques. However, if you truly want to be successful, you're going to have to just take the time and use that planner yourself. The AI is not bad with the planning assistant. It's good, but it will never be as effective as you can be. So, I started with Umberto Zeta and his complete calendar for the entire year. Reason being, his popularity is unmatched within the squad. Zeta, even though it's only local reputation, is leaps and bounds beyond any other rider that I have. His 75 rating is well above anybody else on the team. So he is the most impactful rider by being a part of our sponsor objectives. He makes our sponsor very, very happy when he's at races. So I added him to all the sponsor objectives throughout the year. And then, because he is an Italian rider, I added him to all the Italian races throughout the year. Again, boosting that profile a little bit. I started looking for, what is Zeta good at? Well, Zeta technically is a classics rider, but also has pretty decent punch. Certainly was our most effective puncher last year, though I do have a couple better punchers coming in. So the good thing about that is a lot of those are one-day classic races. So I was able to add a bit to his calendar without overdoing the days. But then also, because of that popularity, I wanted to make sure that each of our 3 World Tour races that we've gotten invites to, I wanted to make sure that Zeta was there. And then we filled in a couple stage races on the calendar that have punch to them. I was hoping to put him between 75 and 80 days. I ended up at 82, which is much better. He was over 100 days last year and was fatigued the back half of the season. I'll manage his fitness firsthand throughout the year, so I can maintain a high level of fitness and avoid fatigue, rest him where I need to rest him. But he does have breaks enough so in the calendar to take days off and recover. So he should be set. After that, I went for what is my sponsor going to care about most? Well, it's a Spanish sponsor. So then I moved on to Rodriguez and Lopez, who are my 2 Spanish riders. Rodriguez, a little more important as he does have some renown. But like I said, I've already got Zeta filled all the way out, and that's at 82 days. I would imagine most of the riders are probably going to be looking somewhere between 60 and 70 days. But depending on how the calendar works out. If we have a lot of climbing races, Tentani's going to fill out his calendar pretty quick. Rodriguez is going to end up getting a lot of days because I need to build Rodriguez's profile as our popular Spanish rider to help with the sponsor confidence. But that's what we're looking at. That's what we're doing. And with that set, I do need to still get in and handle our fitness levels. And this one, if you've not gotten into this with this game, this is vital. You want to go triple plus all the time or 0, with rare exceptions to that. This red bar, you never want to see it come off this line. This is 50 fatigue. Under 50 fatigue has 0 impact. 50 to 100 fatigue, will lower your race day condition and your rider will struggle. So you want to make sure that this red bar never shows up. You can see if we leave this on, boom, there it is. He will get up to 53, 60, 67. It just keeps on climbing. So you got to make sure you throw in brakes from time to time, but otherwise you want to keep this level as high as you can get it and as high as you can maintain it, with every 4 to 5 weeks having a break. If you have back-to-back, you lose that fitness level pretty quick. You also want to try to get your breaks where you have either no races or only a couple days of racing, because if we go to 0, we actually still have 28% of a load because we're racing 2 days. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the first 2 months for my whole team, or at least until the end of the UAE tour. Calendar-wise, everybody's already got those races filled, so we're good to go on this first, just into March, and I'll get their fitness schedules tied to that, and then somewhere around the middle of February, I'll update further down the calendar. Part of the reason why I don't do the whole season all at once for everyone, I mean, I know I added Zetas all the way through, is that you have injuries and then you have to switch the calendar out. Riders will develop, and suddenly a guy who is okay for the punch suddenly becomes your best puncher or one of your best punchers, and you want to make sure he's in those races. So things evolve throughout the season, and that's why I try to do about 2 months at a time, but making sure that at least a couple weeks before what you've set is done, you're doing that next sequence and updating that before it runs out. Otherwise you run real quick into your fitness schedule not being proper, and you're not picking the proper team. Things get messy pretty quick. So in our very first race of the year, we are already hit with a sponsor objective. Now, it's not a huge sponsor objective. It's on the lower end, but it's still a sponsor objective. Also, the first 3 sponsor objectives, the difficult variety, stage win, especially with our current team makeup. This is actually already stage 2. Stage 1 was a sprint stage. I did not bring any sprinters to this race. This race is the Vuelta a San Juan International in San Juan, Argentina. So we are down in Argentina. It's hot. It's summer in the southern hemisphere, and yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. This is the nightmare that we are facing. That is mostly World Tour teams and a handful of Continental Pro teams, including the best Continental Pro teams. 6 riders aside is the limit, so that's one good thing going for us. But our target that we couldn't reach right now, Quinn Simmons, is on top. Pogacar is here, who was one of the best riders of last season at the World Tour level. It's going to be really, really hard to get a stage victory in this type of setup. We have 15K to go. I really need to bring this down because, well, we're approaching the gentle ascent that's then going to become a steep one at the end, and I've got to get into a strong position if we have any chance. We are going for a stage win first and foremost, so that means we're looking for our best punchers to go out. Is that Zeta? Is that somebody else? Well, we'll find out. We do have a number of new faces in this one. In fact, 4 of the 6 riders are new to the team this season. Only one negative race day condition, that's Lopez. He's a 70-70 with low stamina resistance. Zeta today is a 74 with excellent stamina resistance. He's probably going to be leading us out. Tintani is the one I'm saving for the overall, so I'm going to have him follow Zeta. Moreno's pretty decent. He'd be a good lead out one. Barta is pretty low on the stamina resistance, not great numbers, so he'll go early. And Rodriguez is actually probably the next one. I want Rodriguez to finish fairly high up, even though he and Moreno are very similar. Again, we're trying to build Rodriguez's profile, and Lopez is the weak man in the bunch. So he's going to start us off. He's got a low flat rating, but we should be able to bring him along to the front. Yes, pace isn't that bad. Gentle at first, we just want to be in the right position when things start. I would think we're actually going to turn here, but I don't think so. The fans are out in front. Oh, we are turning. They're just on that side road. Alright, 11K to go. I'm going to have him speed up a little bit. Barta, we're going to get you ready. 2 degrees, so we're still flat rating, but you're starting to feel it draining on the resistance a little bit. Okay, a little more speed up. 9K to go. Lopez is perfectly balanced mountain and hill, 70-70, so no matter what pace he's going, he's going to go the same tempo essentially, as his attributes are identical. As we split this off, 7K to go, and we're starting to ramp it up a bit more. So Lopez, speed up here. Moreno, we're going to get you ready. And there we go. Lopez done. This is where we started the race, heading out the other way. Okay, on to Barta. Lopez, get onto the back if you can. Rodriguez, go ahead and use your gel. And here we go, on to William Barta. Barta, a rider that I've had formerly on teams, and there you go. We're picking up the pace, 5K to go. It's important that we stay near the front. Okay, 4K to go. Zeta. Alright, Barta. Nice lead out there. Tentani, though, struggling with the pace. Surprising because he's a mountain climber, but okay. Alright, on to Moreno. Moreno's pace is hurting his teammates, but with 3K to go, we are now getting into a strong position here, though I just don't have much left in the tank. So Moreno, this is going to slow us up a little bit, but we'll push 99. He's still got yellow bar. Under 3K to go, keeping us near the front, but I just don't have Zeta's there. He's got that Italian national champions jersey that we surprisingly won. 2K to go. Rodriguez is going to have to go soon because these guys are pulling ahead of us if we're going to have any chance. Rodriguez, there you go, leading out Zeta. Now he is done. 1.6. Zeta, can we get you maybe... Can I get you on somebody else's wheel like Mark Soler? Maybe we can follow... Oh, let's follow Gegenhardt.
There are reports of several riders in difficulty.
We're in a good position, but winning is a whole nother matter. Zeta doesn't have the red bar, so that's going to be it. We are not winning this stage, but we'll be near the front. That's a good position overall, but definitely not winning. A win goes to Pochkar, Mark Soler second, as if I'm going to beat those guys with this team in our third year. Champerson, Gaudu, Gegenhardt, Maurice, Bennett. Latour is here, all the way down in 8th. Valverde, Sosa, pulls. Zeta takes 12th. He's the first non-big name. I mean, Xandro Maurice is not a huge name, but he is definitely one of the 2 strongest riders with Wanty Group Gobert, which has a different sponsor name. Sorry if I don't remember what it is right now. Circus Wanty Gobert, I think, is what it is now. As they combined, I think they combined sponsors, combined the teams possibly. I don't know, but we did well considering who we were up against, and it's going to be so hard to grab a stage win against these guys. Jeez. Alright. Zeta, Rodriguez, Moreno, Tentani, Barta, same time. Gonsalves last time. I mean, that's what we're up against. Gonsalves is back here. Bacalans, Stuyven, Castroviejo. I mean, Nicola Conchi is back in 39th. I mean, wow. I'm impressed with how we did. I don't see how I'm going to get a stage win, though. Stage number 4. Stage 3 was another sprint stage, and this is one climb. Now, the field actually just came back together. I don't think I'm going to be able to... Yeah, no, they're already starting to attack the sprint point. But we are going to set ourselves up here in this next little bit here. Around this corner. 6 riders are away for that sprint point, but they sit up. And now 16K to go. We are going to prepare for the climb. Do I really want to go? I don't think we're going to stay near enough to each other, so it's one of those hard ones to judge. This is pure climbing. I need to go back to what I was just doing. By the way, we've been hit by just about one of the worst situations you could find yourself in. We are getting slammed by the bell curve of the race day condition. Randomness, not kind. It's warm. It's summer in Argentina. But only one rider had an expected -1. Everybody else had a 0 expected race day condition. It was the heat on the -1, and it was Zeta. But Zeta drew a -4 or a -5. Lopez, Tentani drew a -3. Barta drew a -2. Moreno drew a +2. But overall, the net is nasty. Nasty low. I shouldn't be setting this at a 90. Let's try an 88, see if these guys can hold position a little bit. Tentani, why are we this far back? That's not your position. Alright, 1 rider's dropped already. 3 riders have already ridden off the front. I certainly can't follow attacks. We're just going to try to survive till late. 8K to go. Let's use gel and gel and gel. 3 riders protecting. It's one of the steeper sections right now. It's going to ease off after we round this corner for a little bit. It's going to ramp back up pretty soon. Here already a little bit, but not as bad as it was. The final K or 2 is really steep. Valverde, Soler already attacking. Let them attack. Let's hope riders can pull it back. Zeta's just about toast here with his nastiness of a race day condition. Lopez also, there we go. Lopez is fading. Barta is fading. Alright, so left at the front. Tentani, Moreno, Rodriguez. Gel, and we've already been split. We've been dropped. One and a half K. There's 9 riders ahead. Tani just hanging on to the pace. Moreno is starting to scoot up, and it's 800 meters. I'm going to have him push, see if we can cover that gap. Pogacar wins. We've bridged this gap, made it to these 4. And you know what? Go ahead and sprint. You got 200 meters. Moreno. Goodbye. 11th is pretty dang good. And look, the one guy with a positive race day condition goes and claims the top spot, even though he was not our best climber. Tentani should have been much higher, but -3 really hurts. Pogacar takes a win over Gaudu, Gegenhardt, Soler, Guillaume Martin. Now with Arkea Samsic. Ooh. Okay, that's a move. When I said Maurice was the second strongest rider for last year's 1-2 Group Gobert. It was Guillaume Martin, who was the strongest rider. Maurice, their second strongest rider. Martin has moved over to rival Arceus Hamsik. That shift things up a little bit. There's Quinn Simmons for 1-2 Group Gobert, who takes 6th, while it pulls Rubio Valverde is 9th, Millard is 10th. We got 11th. Again, a pretty good result, all things considered, who we're up against. But we're just so overmatched in this bit. I mean, we just beat Fabio Aru right there, and David A. Formulo. That's big. That's a really good result for us. There's Maurice again. Latour. What's he rated at this year? Just a 76. Dang. Yeah, he has struggled the last couple seasons, so I could see that rating coming down a little bit. Rodriguez, Tintani in this group. That was 249 down. So in the overall now, Pudgecar leads by a minute and a half. And we are tied for 11th with Marino. Well, what we have left, that was one of the big climbs. We have stage 5, is a time trial. Yeah, 17-kilometer time trial. Team or individual? It's individual. Stage 6, another big climb. 17K from here till the finish. So about a 16-kilometer climb. That's going to be pretty rough. I would expect similar to what we just did. And a sprint on 7. So we really don't have a chance at winning a stage. We're not strong enough in the time trial. We're definitely not strong enough in the climb. So we are going to fail this first objective. The only caveat is we have our most popular rider here. And maybe we get some sort of bonus for that. I don't know if that's going to have showed up yet. I don't think it does until after the fact, but we'll see. Okay, registered riders. There you go. Triple plus. So Zeta is going to really give us a strong boost throughout the season with a lot of, it looks like, triple pluses on sponsor objectives. And again, if we can build Rodriguez's profile a little bit, we can pick this up somewhat. As both are Spanish, not Catalonian. And then there's not enough in quantity, even though we have 2 Spanish riders. It didn't even pick us up. I was hoping we'd at least get, something like this. A 5 or 10% evaluation on that part. They want a lot of Spanish riders, and they're pretty ticked off that I only have 2. The big thing is going to be getting these, and 4 of the top 5 are GC. I like that better. I can handle GC. I can get top 10 a lot better than I can get wins. I'll get a few wins this season, but there won't be many. And this first race definitely doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we're probably going to be starting from a lower level than where we're at now. But again, that triple plus, it's going to help balance things out a lot. By the way, stage 2, I did try to get riders into the break to see if we could go for like KWeb. They didn't like the rider that I was trying to send in into the break, which was Rodriguez, by the way. Too strong, apparently. Don't see why. I would have sent Barta instead, but he wasn't looking good on the condition. That stage 4 didn't have any climbs to it. So I guess that's one thing. Is that even still an option? There's been 6 points. That's all there's been so far. And there's 6 points again here at the end on stage 7. Wow, that's all? That's all for the whole race. KOM is not a thing, and that would be totally winnable, but I don't know if you can overtake that. How they do that. Who got there first? It's usually who gets it. You've got to surpass them to get beyond that. But that's going to do it for the first episode of this season. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.